Hey, Coach, how's it going? Hey, I love a man that wears pink. I wear pink all the time too. That a boy, solid choice of tarp today. We're back. The guys aren't on the field today. Obviously, you guys are watching tape. You guys are having your coaches' meetings. You probably watched a lot of tape. Going back to the game, how do you assess things now that you've watched a few things? The one thing we were talking about last week and coaches brought up a lot was we got out physicaled. Where did you find that on Saturday?
We were a lot better. We went full pads last week, so that helped a lot, getting us back to that mentality of going out there and dominating. We still got a long ways to go. We still got a lot of room to improve. But for the most part, I thought our guys came with some physicality. After the Calgary game, we felt like we was missing that. So we had to get back to ground one, ground zero, and get that back. And the full pass session helped us a lot.
Coach, you've got a veteran group there up front overall, some guys that have played in some different spots across the CFL, now coming together here in Saskatchewan. How much for you is it, just getting these guys on the same page and making sure that they're working together versus maybe giving them the intricacies that a younger group may have to get from that coaching standpoint?
Yeah, it's all about chemistry. The only guy, with Rose coming in, Mike Rose, he wasn't with us last year, so that chemistry, we got to get that together, get a better feel for each other. Usually in the second year in the system helps guys to be better, and everybody's pretty much is a second-year guy, except for Shane and Rose. So it's going to take us some time. I knew it's going to take some time, but look like right now they're starting to gel a little bit better, and hopefully that's the sign of good things to come. I feel like those guys are going out there and they're playing hard, but we don't always do the right things, and it was evident in that Calgary game where they got us right there. And that's probably one of the worst games we played as a defensive line that since I've been here. And we just got to get back to what we know and get those guys, get the chemistry and get those guys to gel in a little bit better with the other guys, and we should be fine.
How much coaching can you do during the game? We get the halftime during the game. Is that difficult? Do you?
Well, I tell the guys, practice is my time. The game is your time. The only thing we can do is make corrections on the sideline and hope they get it, help that they fix it, get on the field and perform. You don't like to give them too much, get in their heads too much during the game, but at the same time, it's like little things, saying the little nuances of the game that we go on the sidelines, we try to point out. And, my thing is I'm a big guy that I don't like repetitive mistakes, I want you to, you're going to make mistakes. We ain't going to be perfect. We're going to chase perfection on, we ain't going to catch it, but at the same time, I want you to keep chasing it. And my thing is, we try not to make those mistakes over and over again. And on the sideline, I'm just trying to piece it together, piece it together, see who did what, who made a mistake here, get the guys to understand what I'm saying and those kind of things, because if you don't nip that in the bud early, it's going to continue down the whole game and it's not going to be good for us. So that's the only thing I do on game day. Like I said, the game day is their time. I try not to panic and let the guys see that in my face so they can go out there and perform. Because when you panic as a coach, they panic. So, let me do all the panicking in practice. And then on game day, I try to let you guys handle it and go get it.
I'm stealing that for my flag football team. We're not going to catch it, but we're going to chase perfection. I love it. What a line man. That is. What has Mike Rose brought to this group?
He's brought a lot, man. Leadership. He's a guy that's smart, real smart. He's a guy that on the sideline, I can walk over there and he's already talking to the guys and get them ready to go. He brings pass rush ability. He's bringing a little bit of quickness. Just that veteran leadership that we needed, we got Micah. Micah's a good veteran leader, but Rose brought an extra little piece of that. And I think that over time, the guys starting to respect him a lot more and they're starting to listen to him a lot more. And it makes my job a lot easier when you got a guy like him that can coach guys up on the sideline and get them in the right place.
I was looking at the stats this afternoon before coming over here, and I believe you guys sit currently third in quarterback sacks acquired by the D line, and that, but really spread out amongst the group, and even Thurman there coming down from the linebacker spot as well. Is that a strength of our of this team right now, that we can get pressure from a lot of different areas and get to that quarterback with a lot of different guys?
Yes, that's a good strength to have, you know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is, when you look at football in general, stopping the run and getting more opportunities to rush the passer is the key. We got to stop the run, and we got to run the football on offense. That's key to winning, really. If we stop the run, on early down, that first down, we get an opportunity on second down to go pin our ears back and go get it. We hadn't been real strong in the run game this year like we were the year before. And so that's the difference in the sacks. I don't like being number 2 at anything, you know what I'm saying? No less number 3. I want our guys to understand that let's stop this run, let's get more opportunities to rush the passer, and let's get in the top of those categories, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a big believer in the run game, so we pride ourselves on stopping the run. If we do that, then the psych totals will go up. If we continue to let guys run for 130 yards on those, and I'm a kind of guy that I hate when people run for 30 yards, no less 130. And so my thing is we got to get that done, and we got to, that's the key to going to the big dance and winning it, you know what I'm saying? Last year, if you remember that Winnipeg game, we couldn't stop the run, and guys wasn't doing their jobs, and one filling their gaps and one sitting in their fits. And so that kind of hurt us in that game. So I stress that a lot. I'm a big believer in stopping the run, and as long as our offense keep doing what they're doing, we're going to win a bunch of games.
You guys did a great job, like we talked about enough, but Nathan Rourke, I don't know if it was your game plan. He seemed off all game. That's something that obviously kudos to you guys for making it difficult for him.
Corey do a good job of calling the game, and he made it uncomfortable. We mixed some things up, gave him some different looks, and our DBs played pretty good back there, and locking the guys down. It's just being together, both units playing together. I tell guys all the time that pass rush and coverage go hand in hand. Sometimes we're going to be good, and sometimes they're going to be good, and sometimes we're going to be good together. And that was a game that we were good together. And I just think that we got to continue that and continue to build that chemistry right there with that group and everybody on the defense. And Corey did a good job of calling the game and calling a good game. That's always the outcome.
Dave's brought it up a few times how Coach Mace has gone over and joined your group at practice, and he's been there. Does he still have a couple plays in him? Is that what he wants? Could you put him in?
Listen, Corey started out as a D-line coach, and he's a D coordinator and a D-line coach in Toronto. As hard as it is for him, he cannot let it go. You know what I'm saying? He gonna let me do my thing though. He lets me do our thing, but he always tell me, Phil, let me come over and get those DNs today. Let me come over and get those D tackles today. And I'll be like, Corey, you got so much other things to worry about. You the head coach. You need to be roam the field and just do that, and we'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I let him come over there sometime, take over. Give me a little rest. You know what I'm saying? And you do a good job, man. We both do a good job. And I told the guys, man, y'all cannot go wrong, man. Y'all got a head coach that's a defensive coordinator that used to be a D-line coach. And you got me who played 15 years at D-line and I won a Super Bowl as a D-line coach. So you guys y'all can't complain about nothing. If y'all don't get it right, it's on you guys and not on us because we are good coaches.
I want to get into some of your old days in a bit here, and I remember you coaching because I'm a Patriots fan, so we'll leave that there. But how difficult is it? Because RP and I were talking about just before he came on here, we're going to get into it in a bit here. We're seeing some big hits on quarterbacks, and that's always going to happen in football. How do you coach guys that are absolute dogs and they've been doing it and their job is to go and hit somebody? How do you coach them to gear down when you get to the quarterback? That's got to be so difficult.
It's tough, it's tough. You got guys coming full speed. Some guys weighing 280, 300 pounds, and they just get close to the quarterback, can't stop, I really do think the leagues protect the quarterbacks a little bit too much. Like, for instance, a hand to the helmet. That's why we wear the helmet, to protect ourselves. A hand to the helmet is not going to hurt a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of things. So I feel like, the game is getting tougher for us to tackle and to go after the quarterback the way we want to. But you have to just teach guys, when they get close, just swipe the feet if you're on the ground, saying those little things like that, or just, just waist high, those kind of things. So, but it's tough, man. I remember a penalty early in the season when Micah and Rose hit the quarterback, and I didn't think it was a penalty. I thought that was a good hit. I just thought they hit each other harder than they hit the quarterback. But he pointed up at the referee, made a big deal out of it, and that's how he got the call. So I just think they let the quarterbacks decide the call by just pointing up, complaining, and those kind of things. You got eyes for yourself. Just see it for yourself, and just keep that flag in your pocket. If it ain't crazy, you know what I'm saying? If we ain't going after his head, then keep that flag in your pocket.
Love your honesty. What a great answer there.
Great point. And then building off that, coach, as well. So then you which we're not doing, but you're asking a guy to go in and be cautious and slow down, and then you come up against a quarterback potentially this week like a Trey Ford, could be really elusive, and if you don't run all the way through him, he's a guy that can get out of the pocket and start to make plays. So how do you prepare for a guy like that, and maybe speak to how important it is for that front to be able to hold their lanes and do their jobs and not allow him to get back there and start moving around?
Yeah, we got to be balanced up front. You know what I'm saying? When we rush, we got to be balanced. Everybody got to be where they need to be. And my thing is, he's the kind of guy that, you make people miss. And, my thing is, don't let him get on the edges. We'll be fine. But I think our guys know what we're dealing with this week. And I hope that they come prepared to practice this week and let's prepare to go get him. You know what I'm saying? We can't hesitate. We can't you can't hold back, on what we do. But at the same time, we can play smart and balance rush that and be where we should be when we should be there. And that's the key to stopping quarterback like this. Just balance pass rush, be smart. And my thing is, you get a lot of people say, hey, keep your eyes on the quarterback, rush with your eyes on the quarterback. No, rush and be smart and be where you should be.
Wow. Phillip Daniels joining us here on the Coaches Show this week. Now, let's go into your career. Seattle, Chicago, Washington. What's the quarterbacks? Who is the quarterback that you sacked back in your day that you still hang your hat on? That was the big one. That was a doozy.
Man, I sacked all of them. I sacked a lot of them. Mike Vick, he was so elusive, and he's one of those quarterbacks, what I'm saying? Those guys that can run around, scramble, and get out the pocket, what I'm saying? But I think I broke him in as a rookie. He came and we played him, and he ran a boot to my side, and, he fast. So I had to take a good angle, perfect angle. I got to him, put my arm around his neck, and kind of grabbed his left hand because he's left-handed. He fumbled and like I ran it 90 yards for a touchdown. So him, Brett Favre, so good, Dan Marino, those guys. I mean, I go way back. I sacked a lot of quarterbacks, Tom Brady. So, I tell my guys, you name a quarterback, I probably sacked him. The only ones I didn't sack was the ones on my team. So, but I only had I had 60-some sacks, but I spread those things around. So It was good.
That's awesome. That's funny. Hey, then transitioning into coaching as well, and a little bit of a selfish question for me. I like to always ask coaches about, I think you can teach players when you're a coach, but I think when you work with elite people, they can also teach you. So a guy that really stood out for me, you working with Fletcher Cox with the Eagles and that. Your time down there, do you work with these guys and maybe just when you're working with them, a little eye-opener and going, man, this guy is like next level, and you can take something from him to move on to the next guy that you're working with?
I think being a former player, for me, I never got to the point where I was like, this guy's next level, because I always felt like we all, if you're a good player in that league, you're going to be a solid player and be a good player. Fletch was just different because he was heavy. He was a heavy guy, a guy that when he put his hands on you, he destroy you. And guys like him, you just give them direction. You don't have to really teach them too much, coach them too much. Just give them the playbook in the meeting room and then get them on the field and to give them some direction on what to do. And they got it, you know what I'm saying? It was a pleasure working with those guys, guys like him and all the other guys that I've worked with in the past, just to see those guys. Even I tell guys all the time, even until your last day playing football, you should be learning something. You should be getting better. And so just to see them keep learning and keep growing, and even if they're a 13-year guy or whatever they may be, I ended up being a 15-year guy. And I always felt like, listen, once I start wanting to learn, I'm done. I might as well retire. And that's the same thing in the coaching field. If you get to the point where you don't want to learn anymore, it's time. It's over. You just let it go. So I never had guys like that. Guys were willing to learn. Fletcher was one of those solid guys that was willing to learn. Brandon Graham. I can go on and on.
Yeah.
I had a old school guy who I played with, Clyde Simmons. Gave me some of the best advice I ever got in my life. I remember being mad on the field and upset about something, and he came to me and said, "Young buck, carry this with you the rest of your life. Never let anything or anybody ever steal your joy." And that's what I give to the players. And I tell them, don't get upset, man. We all in this together. We're all in this together. We're a team. We're going to work through it. And it's good to see those guys because they can also help those young guys understand that. And just like I got it from an older guy, they get it from me and some of the older guys here too, the young guys. So it's good to have guys like that on the team. It's good to be able to coach guys like that and that you're still teaching them something, even though they played 13, 14 years.
Where do you keep your Super Bowl ring, and when's the last time you wore it?
I got my Super Bowl ring up here with me. My wife keeps it. She makes sure that nobody messes with that thing, you know what I'm saying? So keep people telling me to put it in a safety deposit box and all this stuff. I said, nah, we good. We're going to be okay. We got it. It ain't getting too far. I believe if the building was burning down, my wife would run in there and get it. You know what I'm saying?
That a girl.
She know how long I waited to get a ring. As a player, I never went to a Super Bowl. I never got a chance. I went to the playoffs, but I never got to the Super Bowl. So as a coach, and I told myself that, okay, I never got there as a player, but I want all my guys to experience that. Mm-hmm. So when I started coaching, that was my goal. I want everybody to experience a chance to have a championship and then see that everything that goes along with that. On that game day, winning that thing, seeing the people out there hugging, crying, all that stuff. I want all my guys to see that, and that's one of the reasons I coach.
Okay, your son though has a Grey Cup ring playing in Toronto last year. Does he ever rub that in to Dad a little bit? Be like, yeah, you got your Super Bowl ring, but I got the Grey Cup ring.
Yeah, I tell him all the time that should be our ring. You know what I'm saying? we picked the wrong game to play our worst game. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was there for him. I went to BC to that game, and I always been there for him. And of course, I was a motivational speaker one year, and they won a few years ago, and they played here. So I was on the sideline for that one. And my thing is, my kids do well. I'm all in. I help them any way I can, and I'm gonna be happy for them. And our goal last year was to play each other in the Grey Cup. We fell short. They did good. I hated that because I wanted to play him. I wanted to play against him. Yeah. And we matched up really well with them. During the season, we matched up really well with them. And I thought if we got to the Grey Cup, it'd be a great story, father and son playing against each other, but it just didn't happen. So I told him just keep his head up this year because they're struggling a little bit right now. Yeah. Just keep your head up, keep fighting, and hope y'all get Kelly back and things will turn around for him. Yeah.
Coach, thanks so much for taking some time today here on this Monday. Awesome to chat with you. Some good quotes there. Continued success.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys for having me.
You bet. Thanks, Coach.